Yep. Is it thought we're going all the way in and then slowly backing out, or are you looking for stuff as we're going this direction?
As of right now, I'm just going in.
Yeah.
We're about 15 foot into the pipe. The key things that we want to see at the bottom left of your monitor, you're going to have a blue number that says +3. We're going to see an orange number that says negative. Anytime we see a plus number, that indicates that the pipe has settled and that water is just kind of sitting flat on it. There is some areas where, especially right here, it's in some pretty rough shape. The reason I say that is you kind of got this little channel that's at the bottom of the pipe, and that's kind of deteriorating and rotting away at the pipe, especially right here. All that buildup that sits on the bottom of the pipe, that's kind of overtaking the pipe at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So the pipe's failing right there.
And that buildup is coming from outside, seeping in, or is that just going down my drain?
That's
buildup?
Just going down the drain. That's just, fortunately, from the cast iron pipe right here. That's just from it. It's at the end of its life. Cast iron was given a life expectancy of 30 to 40 years. So we're kind of in that range of where the iron's just kind of on its way out.
Okay. And is she going, which way? You going out the back? Which direction are we headed here?
Right now we're probably just under we're inside of the home still. We're just leading up to the main line. Once we connect to the main, then it'll go outside. Like right here where the pipe's holding water.
Yeah.
At the bottom where there's water and we're positive, there should be a nice little shell of pipe, so to speak. But right here there isn't. It's just water, and that water is slowly draining into the soil under the foundation, and that's how the pipe fails.
Okay. And so why is it draining through the pipe?
Because once the pipe settles,
yeah,
and it doesn't have proper slope, the cast iron's laying flat, like how we have +1.
Yeah.
So we're not in the right slope. So once the pipe is flat right there, that water just sits there, and over time, water on metal, it's going to rot away.
Okay, so that's what I was wondering.
Yes, sir. We're transitioning to your main line. The way you can tell, the pipe itself is bigger in diameter, and it's a white pipe. The white pipe is what we call PVC. It's a plastic pipe.
Yep.
And that goes out into the city connection, and that's how everything drains from inside out to the main line.
Yep.
I'm going to kind of pull it back a little bit and really focus on the iron some more and really see what's going on with it. And right there, we're flat. We have no slope at all.
Yeah.
36.1. So that's going to be we're flat again. This right here, the pipe's just fully withered away at the bottom. You just see how the water's just flowing all throughout. And you kind of see on the left and the right at the bottom of the screen that little like pocket that the water's flowing through in between.
Mm-hmm.
You can see the channel that the pipe is carved out.
Yep.
We call that channel rotting. So the pipe rots from the bottom up. So that's exactly what this is doing right here.
And so how thick is this cast iron?
Normally it's supposed to be as thick as your thumb. But right
the
here,
walls are as thick as my thumb?
They should be, yes.
Yep.
Right here where it's rotted away, we can confirm that the bottom isn't, because there's essentially no pipe left right there. Yeah.
So we're headed out toward where your truck is, yeah? Is that the direction that where it's hitting the main?
This pipe connect to it, but this pipe is going to connect somewhere in the basement. Right now I'm pulling the camera back. I'm just kind of retracing the iron and looking over everything. The white pipe that we were in,
yeah,
that's going to go out to where my truck is at.
Okay.
Yes, sir. So the reason that Carlos was able to get the line cleared, but it's still backing up from large volumes of water, that's due to the pipe being rotted, where it's holding that water at the bottom. Anytime you drain a large volume of water, such as your laundry, the kitchen, or that sink, that's what's going to happen, because it's not necessarily a blockage, but the pipe has just failed, so it can't hold that big of a volume of water that you're discharging into the line.
Yeah. I mean, what's interesting is the only sink in the house that experienced the backup was this one right here, right? On the other side of the wall where you are, right? The bathroom sink. None of the other drains have had a challenge. I mean, I recognize that there's problems in this pipe, right? But the only one that is, to this point, given me any issues is the sink right here.
Correct. And that's, for the time being, one thing to also keep in mind is the floor drain. It connects directly into this pipe right here under the ground. So the floor drain is on the same line, and this line has failed. So if your water heater or your HVAC system's to ever fail and it discharges water, and this drain's not draining properly due to the volume issue, that can cause water damage right here in the surrounding area. This is where we really have some really concerning issues. All that very, very bright, shiny, black goop on the side of the pipe, that's all that buildup that's starting to rot away at the pipe. So it's starting to fail the pipe even further. Once that black stuff fails the pipe and it creates a channel of water to go through, the pipe's ultimately failed right there. And right here, the pipe's just rotted. And you can kind of see like the ins, the outs, the cavities where it's kind of already started making damage.
So is this part better or worse?
This is way worse
than the channel we saw.
I mean, they're both equally bad. But I mean, this one, it's going to give you a backup, very soon again. So, from what I've seen of the system so far, what I recommend is properly cleaning the system to try and extract all this black goop and try and push it out to the city. The way you do that is with what's called hydrojetting. Hydrojetting, it uses high pressurized water and it scrapes the walls of the pipes completely, and it sends all of that buildup out of your line.
Okay.
That's going to be the next attempt at trying to save this pipe before you have to dig it up.
Right.
Yes, sir.
I mean, because if you dig it up, right, are you jackhammering through my basement floor? Like, how do you get that out?
You jackhammer through your basement floor.
Wow.
Where do you think it's running, like towards the office over here, or like more towards you?
Where's the main stack at, Carlos? Are you aware?
Main stack, I didn't locate that.
Is the front of the home that way?
I don't know which way you're pointing. It's out this way.
That way?
By the stairs.
Yep. Yeah, we're going over there then.
Need a compass on this thing down there. They really make this.
If we were to go down the route of